Lesson 1, Making a Good Impression. Words to know: impression, first impression, stereotype, maturity, empathy. Discover how to make a good impression. The disadvantages of stereotypes. The effects of a positive attitude. Kelly and her brother Dan just moved to a new town. On their first day of school, Kelly was polite and friendly. She wanted to make a good impression. Dan, on the other hand, started showing off and claiming to be the world's greatest soccer player. He was trying to impress people. Can you see the difference between trying to impress people and making a good impression? An impression is an image you present or others present to you. When you try to impress people, you pretend to be someone other than who you really are. When you make a good impression, you have presented yourself in the best way possible. First impressions. People form an opinion about you the first time they meet you. The instant opinion or image is called first impression. It is based on certain clues, such as the way you look and talk and act. First impressions are important because they help people decide whether they want to know you better. What type of first impression do you make when you are considerate of others? In contrast, what do people think if you have a poor manners? When people judge you by only a few clues, the clues may be misleading. For example, you may wear a baseball cap, but not like to play baseball. What other kinds of clues may mislead people about you? First impressions are not always accurate. When people have a chance to get to know you better, they may change their opinion. Sometimes, however, first impression is the only chance you have to make a good impression. Avoiding stereotypes. Sometimes people form opinions about you without even knowing you. They may expect you to act a certain way. An idea or an image formed in advance about all members of a group is called a stereotype. The belief that all teens like rock music or the elderly people are hard of hearing is an example of stereotyping. Some stereotypes are based on gender. For example, some people may think that all boys like sports or that all girls like to cook. When people form their opinions of you based on a stereotype, their idea is an image is usually unfair, untrue, or exaggerated. The only way for people to learn what you and others are really like is to get to know each person as an individual. Showing good behavior. You can make a good impression on others by being pleasant and sincere. Showing that you have confidence in yourself will make you more interesting to others. Using good manners and being thoughtful of others helps you create a good impression. Having good manners means more than just saying please and thank you or using the right fork when you eat. It means respecting other people's rights and helping them feel comfortable. Thinking about your behavior affects others will help you practice good manners. Being mature. When you act maturely, you make good impression on other people. Maturity means making wise decisions, practicing self-control, and acting responsibly. It means learning to express your feelings in a positive way and accepting responsibility for your actions. If you make a mistake, you don't get angry or defensive. Instead, you know that making mistakes is part of the learning process. Tips for living. Breaking bad habits. Bad habits such as tapping your finger or interrupting other people when they are talking make a poor impression. Try to follow the tips to help you break a bad habit. 1. Ask family members and trusted friends to help you identify a bad habit that you may or may not be aware of. Then have them give you a secret signal every time they see you practicing this habit. 2. Figure out why you have that habit. Maybe you twist your hair around your finger when you're nervous. Try to remove the reason for that habit. For example, studying more for a test will help you feel less nervous. 3. Find an acceptable substitute behavior. For example, take a breath mints in place of biting your nails. Having a positive attitude. Have you ever wondered why does this happen to me? Most people feel that way. Sometimes you can't always control things that happen to you. However, you can control how you react to things that happen. When something unpleasant happens, you can choose to be positive and look on the bright side. You can choose to make the best of a bad situation. For example, if you don't make the school band, you might try to decide to spend more time practicing and try again next year. You might decide to try out for the school play instead. A positive attitude will help you make a good impression on teachers, friends, and parents. Getting along with others. Getting along well with others is an important part of impression you make on others. If you get along with your family, friends, classmates, teachers, and community members, you will make a good impression on them. Here are some qualities that help you get along with other people. Consideration. Think about other people and their feelings. Treat people the same way you would like to be treated. Friendliness. Be pleasant and friendly. Greet people. Invite new students to join you and your friends for lunch. Let others know that you want to be a friend. Cooperation. Pitch in and do your share of work. At home, you can keep your room clean. At school, you can do your part on group assignments. Reliability. Do what you say you will do. People like to know that they can depend on you. Prove to them that you will keep your word. Understanding. Try to understand how other people feel. Show empathy, or the ability to put yourself in another person's place. Respect that person's viewpoint and feelings. A lasting impression. As you have learned, people form an impression of you as soon as they meet you. Often the first impression lasts for a long time. You can see why it is important to make sure that the first impression is positive. You can continue to make a good impression by having positive attitude and practicing the skills for getting along well with others.